I can make sure I definitely have some recording to
Yep.
upload. So like
That'd be great.
now I can make sure I have everything recorded. So now it's recorded into my own computer. Yeah, so but
Great.
we may lost the previous part, but yeah, just let me know if you want me to explain something again. I'm really happy to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So the person was sharing screen. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Sorry. Just one last question. When we submit something, right?
Yes.
Like suppose, for example, we're doing Python, right? If we submit something, is it okay if we have like a helper function for like a certain, for the server or the client?
Yeah, of course you can have it.
So should we like, how should we send it? Should we send it like as like a server in like its own folder and a client its own folder, or should we just send it like together?
You mean the helps function is outside the client or server file?
Yeah, like it's a separate like file. For example, like helper.py.
Yeah, should be okay. Should be okay, but if possible, just put it inside the server or client. So we only submit 2 files.
Okay, so do we submit like 2 different folders in this file? Like the server as its own file folder and then like client as its own folder.
I'm not sure for that file actually. Sorry, let me check it. But I don't think we have the requirement for that. But
Submission instruction
we do mention that we may run the client in the different folder, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's very like a bit vague, really.
Language and platform. So did we mention atomic? Did you find it?
Submission instruction just mentioned that we should submit the client and the server and the reports, nothing else.
Yeah, it doesn't say that we should put it in different folder. But yeah, don't worry too much. If you put it in the same folder, it should be fine.
Oh, sure.
Because we can move your stuff by ourselves, right? But yeah, just in case, for example, your code is not working, like if they are not in the same folder, just mention that in your report.
Okay. So like currently my implementation, it assumes that there's nothing in the server directory while it's running. But then, once you run it, you end up creating those thread and then those txt files. But I didn't put in anything to handle, like if you like shut down the server, it doesn't delete those files or anything like that. So does that need to be handled, or can we just assume that you're always going to delete all the created files?
It's better to have a clear function for that. Let's say if you close your server or restart your server, then your server it's better to have the function that can help us to like reset everything, like delete everything, or just redo everything again. But
the problem is like the server usually needs to be Control-C. You kill it using Control-C.
Yes,
so do we need to implement like signals or something like that?
Yes, we can add exit. Check out this library. So this one is the exit handlers. So once you press the Control-C or other, like you raise a problem and the program crashed, this library can help you to handle this kind of situation.
And this library can be like it can run on that while loop, right? Or above that while loop, underneath that while loop.
Just before the
I'm
while
not sure.
loop.
I didn't take it.
Yeah, don't worry. It's very easy. Let me show you right now. So this one is the code you need. So define an exit function in here. So define, and instead of have a printing stuff here, probably just put the socket.close. So we can make sure we close the socket properly, and then clean other stuff and like delete all the threading file or other stuff you need to delete in here. Just put them in the same goodbye.
Yeah, so it would be os.delete, like os.functions, right?
Yes, exactly. So and then we import this library. It's a built-in library, so you don't need to install it. And register this function with its own parameters. But in here, we may not need any parameter here, right? Because it's just simply close the socket and other stuff. And that's it. So once you close your
Oh.
program, and it will
Yeah.
automatically run the function before you close it.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that then. Yeah, I can just delete all the files created. Yeah, great. Thanks.
Yeah, okay. Or you can use the try, except, and finally that kind of clauses to close your function as well. So there's also a way to do like kind of like that.
Right. Okay. Or we can use the one that you just explained, right? Because if we do
of course.
atex.registry, yeah, as soon as that one is run.
Yeah, just make sure you test your own program in the VLab environment. So if you did not find any issue with it, that should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. And so will they test like, will they place the client in one folder and the server in another folder and then test? Or will they, is it expected that both the files will be run from the same directory?
I think we had mentioned in the specification somewhere, but I'm not sure I can find it. Like we are mentioned that we may run the client in the different folder. Do we?
I probably missed that bit.
Let me
Just
search folder. No.
I don't think it's mentioned in the file, but I think it definitely needs to be run in different folder because the upload and download file requires like there shouldn't be the same file on the client folder or the server folder.
yeah. That's why I asked, because like currently my one needs to be run, but if I start running it from the same folder, the thing starts crashing and burning.
Like I don't sure. Why your program will crash like in
because like
in the
because
same.
it tries downloading. So like if you send a file, thread file, then you know, you've already downloaded the thread file, but then if you like say upload that thread file again, the both versions of like the non-uploaded version and the uploaded version both exist in the same directory. So I think it tries to like overwrite a file that's already existing, and then I think I get like file already exists error or something like that. So I need to handle that obviously, but yeah, that's just annoying as
like
well. So
different
that's what I was
users
wondering.
upload the same like same stuff, like same file name into the same threading.
Yeah, so if you run like client 1, client 2, client 3 from the same directory as the server,
then you should like just simply use the try and except command to catch this error and then print it out. You can just simply say they already have this file name exist.
Yeah, like accept and print already. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so just make sure it's not crashing.
Yeah,
just print the message gracefully and do not crash.
Okay.
And yeah, like I mentioned here, like all the will be on the same machine, and we run the different terminal on the same machine. Blah blah blah, like this.
But
it
like,
doesn't mention in the different folder.
Yeah,
then
I guess. Yeah,
I don't know, but probably probably in the same folder. But yeah, if you have error, like if your client must stay with the server or must separate,
mention that in the report.
Yeah, just put it on the report.
Okay.
Let me check on the chat we have. Hello, I have a question of the UDP commercial. We handle the case where the upload file is not on the current working directory. Yes, just check it. So if we do have the same file, like in the same thread, then we should be able to like return to the client and telling the client this kind of situation. So
just have
I
a
think,
quick.
yeah.
Sorry, I just have a quick questions about the RDT implementation.
Mhm.
So basically, my program is working fine with like 2 configurations at the moment, and if I'm trying to implement the loss recovery, but it just messed up like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I have to
Hi.
so I have to modify my message, and then I have to add in like the sequence number, and then as well as
Okay.
implement the timeout. Can I
Yeah.
just skip it like completely, and then just mention in the report that I have something in mind, but I just
It's
can't.
it's just
I
not
just
working or
don't
something.
implement it. Yeah.
You have tried, but like it's not working properly or have some bugs. Yeah, definitely. You can try to like try your best to do it, and you do mention it in the report. You can say, even I have tried this way, like it's partially working, it's not working, but I have tried it. You need to mention it on the report, so you will still get like part of the mark, right?
Yeah, because I don't know, because the way you explain with the sequence number from
Yeah.
client to the server,
Yeah.
I was just thinking the other day, what happened if the 2 clients sending the
same.
message? So the first one time out, and then
Yeah.
the second one sending in.
Yeah.
So which mean the server have to store somehow the sequence number of the client 1 as well
Yes.
as the sequence number of the client 2.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
it just like seems like a lot of extra work just for 1 mark.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. You may need to use a dictionary for the
Yeah,
latest.
that's what I had in mind, but in order to have like a full implementation and test it out,
Yeah.
I don't think I would be to have it like properly done
Okay.
by
Yeah.
Friday. So
Yeah.
can I just like skip it completely and then just mention in the
Yeah.
report?
No problem. No problem. You can mention it. Yeah. You can say, I can like what have I done so far, and
I can
like what
show
is
the
the issue.
diagram of what I have been trying to do.
Yes, exactly. You just mentioned that on your reports, like what did you do and what is the problem right now. That should be fine. Should be fine. Don't worry too
Yeah.
much.
So what should the structure for the report kind of be like? Like how do I mention, like what do I do? Like structure, yeah.
For the structure, we will not be very picky for the report. So as long as you submit something like which is like understandable for us, let's say you put some
Is it just
diagram
me
like this.
talking?
Yeah, it's just but basically we want you to submit something that can help us to understand your program. You can have some graph like or something like bullet points that can help us to easily understand the structure and how your server work with the client. Then that should be fine. And of course the bug, if you do find some bug but you don't know how to fix it, don't worry. Do not like try to fix one bug and create more bugs. So just mention it on the report. That should be fine. If it's just a corner case, you will not lose any marks. And
Okay.
and how about other stuff? And the like all the efforts you have to your assignment. Let's say you do find one like error or bug for your server, and you have to do some makeup. For example, you server you will need to have a 1 second delay for every message. Just mention that why you have a 1 second delay, and like what have you done to fix this problem? Just let us know. That should be fine. Just mention that like some obviously bug in your report, so we will not like misunderstand the bugs. Right? And of course, the retransmission part should also be included in your report.
Yeah. So even regardless of if I implement or don't implement, and I need to mention that, oh, this is what.
Yes, you also you can even you haven't done any part of the retransmission, you can say, I have a like idea, but haven't done it because I don't have time, something like that.
Yeah.
You can say that, yeah, but I'm not sure you can get a point because we ask you to do it. But of course you can mention it. Just try at least do a part of it, right?
Yeah. Cool.
Let me
What I'm
see.
afraid if I'm doing a part of it and then it just create more bugs.
Yeah, do
in
not
my-
do not crash your program with the like 1 mark, okay? So you can say, after I adding this, that it's like crashing, start crashing. I don't know how, but yeah, something like that. But at least you try, right?
Maybe I can copy the part that I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't include it in the final submission, like in the final code.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, but just make sure you can get most of mark, right? Do not like do the retransmission part and crash your program frequently. It's
Because
not
it's
worth it.
nearly impossible for me to test like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
retransmission.
Yeah. It's very hard to test it's working or not. And like for some corner case, if the only way to show it, like we may use the random function to like drop the packet, but it's not necessarily. So just put it on the report and don't worry if it is not working really perfect. That should be fine. That should be fine. Like the corner case I have mentioned before, like for the CRT command, if you resend it with the timer, it may have some issue like by executing twice, but it's a kind
Yeah.
of thing, like it's kind of advanced topic in here. It's not worth 1 point in here. So it's okay to just implement as like simple timer. Yeah, that's fine. So we are not expecting we will have the amount stuff. So yeah, just if you have time, just do it. If you don't, try your best. Okay. Don't struggling with this part.
I might have a question about the number of packets that we send towards the server, because obviously we need to use a buffer size to send a packet.
Yeah.
And in the requirements, it says that you're not going to use any crazy files or nothing big, and most of the messages that we'll be sending will be few words long.
Yeah.
Therefore, I was wondering about the buffer size, which I set to 4,000 and a little bit. But do you think we should implement something in regards of transferring more packets if the file itself is more than our buffer size, is bigger than our buffer size, or is just an overkill for this assignment?
I think, yeah, you can implement some way to like receive more than one, like more than one buffer size. Let's say 2, 3, 4 buffer size. Yeah, you can definitely try that, but it's not hard. Like you all you need to do just combine them together, keep receiving and combine them together. But if you don't have time, you just skip that part. Like you can set the buffer size as large as you can and try to handle this problem. And also you can mention that like if the file size exceed, let's say 10 megabytes, your program will not be able to upload it. That's fine. Because
Perfect, thank you very much.
because I'm not sure like what will be the largest file we will try. But I would say it's not really hard to combine the file together. Just you can have a while loop. Like you can send the size of the file at first. So the client will tell the server, what will be the length of the file we send. And then server will run a while loop and keep receiving it, and then combine the different message, the binary message, right, together.
Yeah.
And then save it. Just a while loop is very easy. Just, but yeah, the only point in here is we need to send the file size at first. And
also we need to send it, send the file size. Yeah, cool.
yeah, or you have other way to determine like the end of the file.
Yep, cool. Easy.
Yeah, it's not pretty hard, but yeah, if you do not have the time, you just set a very large value for the buffer size and mention that in your report. And you try, let's say you try a 5 megabit photo or other stuff and see if it's working or not. If it's not working, just mention it on the report, and we may not test it anyway. Let me check the chat. The UDP shall we handle the case upload? Not in the, yes, you need to. And in the testing now, it says when testing under the second configuration, make sure the multiple clients are executed in different working directory. Yeah, I do remember this one, but I couldn't find it. I have a question about UDP. Whenever I upload the file, it seems to just make an empty file instead of writing bytes to it. Can't figure out why. Upload the file, it seems to just make an empty file instead of writing bytes to it. Okay, so but why is about UDP? So if you are trying to upload the file, you should use the TCP connection. So if you
No, the command is UPD.
UPD.
It's UPD, not UDP.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry,
That's
UPD. UPD. So you should use UDP. Sorry, and then so why? I think it's the open command problem. I'm not sure how did you use the open command. Let me open my editor here.
I think the chat's already helped him.
Oh yeah, like with open. Yeah, that's what I want to say here with open file name. But why is WB here? Like you're creating the UPD. UPD.
Right in binary.
Okay, so
I don't think
WB
there's
should
a
yeah
problem.
should be fine, no problem. And receive if not break and write.
Yeah, I think it's just a plus equal issue.
You receive it, and if
Yeah,
He
I'm
used
trying that
the-
now. I'm gonna see what happens.
yeah, so you keep receiving it, and do you see that the f.write is outside the while loop? So you will only write the latest stuff. So you are using the if not byte read, right? Byte read. So which means this message is an empty one, then you will break the while loop. So you must have something in the bytes. You must have nothing in the bytes read. Then you will break this while loop, and then you will write an empty stuff into the file.
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
Yes, I will put it here. Put it in the console here. Give me a sec.
I think he meant to say if you want to use a function like this, you should put that f.write within the loop.
So what is the problem here? It's in here. This line. Sorry if it's too small. I'll try to make it bigger, but the font is still very small. But the problem is in here. In this line. Why? Because you do have a while loop in here, right? In the second line, you have a while true. So what is the condition you will break this while loop? is in here. If not, twice read. So which means if this one is false, then you will break. So what is the condition? This one is false, which means this one,
If it doesn't receive anything from
yes. So
the
this
client,
one,
the client's
you-
finished.
if this one equal to which one? If this one equal to this one, right?
Yeah.
Or none, then it will break, right?
Hmm.
And that's the reason why you write an empty stuff in at the end, and you get an empty file. So this part is working properly because this code is writing an empty stuff into the file. So what you need to do is you need to receive it, right? And then try to like save or combine it. So you may have the file or something like that. You can call the file a chunk or something like that. Like bytes read. So you put what have you received into your file. And finally, once you break out the while loop, then you write the file, you save the file.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. That's what I was doing wrong.
Otherwise, you'll be the mistake, I think. Yeah, because the only issue is in here, the f.write. You put, you already put the empty stuff here, and that's the reason why your file is empty. Because you haven't saved it.
Too easy. Thanks so much.
Okay. We have some that. Let me see, what's the next problem? Decode, you don't need to decode because it's bytes. We are trying to save a file, and that's the reason why we put WB here, right? We need to put the bytes here. So it's binary stuff. And we don't need to decode it. Okay, we assume in the folder, we only have credentials, server PY, and thread files, no other folders. Yeah, you can say that. But what's the issue? Like for having other folders? Usually we will test your program like in an empty folder. Let's say we create a folder with your ZID and put your credentials for a new credentials file and the server and the client file together and try to run it. And if multiple clients, we may create a new one in the same folder and could just copy your client and then run the client, or just simply run the same client in the same folder.
Oh, I just wanted to get the thread list from directory that way.
Yeah.
Unless we can have a file to save the thread names in there.
Thread names. Yeah.
Can we do that or not really?
Yeah, definitely you can. You can save anything you want, like into a file or in the dictionary, just in the RAM, depends on you. There's no requirement that's saying that you cannot create that file or that file. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's better to save in the RAM. Otherwise, like if you save in the file, you may have some trouble if we restart the server. Like, what if your server crashed? And will you just clear all the created file or not? So you may need to consider, what if we crash your file, we crash your server, and if
So
it's still working or not.
do we have to delete everything, all the files when we?
Yes, if you can, please delete when if we restart the server. But if you like, if your server cannot delete it, we may manually delete it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, but please just make sure you will not crash frequently. Otherwise, we'll be crazy. Yeah, but that should be fine. Like you can create like everything you want and save everything you want to help your server work.
Oh, okay. I thought that we have to just create one file per thread.
Are you talking about the threading, the CRT command, or the threading the connection of threading?
Yeah, no, the thread command.
Okay, the CRT.
Yes.
This one, right? So
Yes.
it give you the details in the specification. So if the thread does not exist, then you need to create a new file with the provided
I
title.
just wanted to know if that's the only files that we can make, or can we just like make some other files for ourselves to
Yeah, of course you
have a
can.
list of threads and things like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But why don't
Okay.
you just put it in the RAM so you don't save it? But yeah, if you do need to say create some file to, like, let's say your subthread need to communicate with each other, but you couldn't find a good way to do it, you can use the file IO to do it. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah, we can put it in the RAM too. Yeah, no worries.
yeah,
Thanks.
but just let me know if you have any trouble.
Okay,
But
thank you.
this problem is fine.
Yeah, thank you.
I have the same issue. Change my code from this one to this one. It solved my issue. Upload give me a connection refused. TCP connection for uploading. Yeah, please try this one. Is it work or not? And how is the server meant to know it's logging or not logging in the client? And yeah, how does the server know this client is logging or not? Depends on you. You can include the logging information in the client side. Let's see. Yeah, or you can have a dictionary in the server side to maintain the logging status like this. And I want to get thread list from directory. That is fine. Actually, when I try to use the same server port as the UDP connection, it gives me an error, say it's already in use. Okay, so this one, do you mean when you restart the server, like while you're debugging your server, you will have this problem, like says that address already in use. If you do have this problem, for example, you are restarting your server, but you cannot run in the same server port. So what is the problem? Because you did not close the socket properly. You did not run the socket.close function before you close it. So what should we do? You should use this kind of stuff at exit. So make sure every time you run the socket.close function before you close your program, right? Otherwise, you have to reboot your computer to get the port number back. So make sure you close your socket properly if we restart the server. Sorry, the problem is only when I use the UPD command. So when I try to establish a TCP connection. If I use the same port as the, it says that, oh, okay, no problem. So in here is the logic problem for the UDP command, right? Because you will use the same port to do the TCP and the UDP. And so why don't you just design your program that can figure out available port for the TCP connection? If you use the different port, then it says connection refused. Then you have the same question that we mentioned before. As the question Mei Huang at 7:17. Do you have the same issue? So it's not the port number issue, it's the connection refused. You need to handle that and figure out how to do that. But we have mentioned that on the chat before. You can check out the chatting history. And my keyboard interruption exception does not work with server. I read somewhere that threading ignores keyboard interruption. Yeah, it will ignore the keyboard interruption exception. Like search how to close a threading properly. But the idea is the same. You need to add something inside the thread like this. Or search how to close a thread. If the main thread is closed, the subthread should be also closed. Because if you are running the keyboard interruption, it will kill the main thread of the server. And then just close the subthread properly. Like, for example, you put your socket inside the subthread, then you should have some function that help you to close it in the subthread.
So does at exit do the same thing as keyboard interrupt do?
The at exit library will help you to run the function before you exit, like this. Or if even your program crashed, it will also run this function. So just follow the code like this in here. So this means you will define the goodbye function in here. It will print the message. So just replace the print message function stuff in here with the socket.close or clear out all the unnecessary files. And then we just import the library and do the register. And that's it. It's very easy to use.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
And every time you like run the keyboard interruption, it will run this function at first and then close your program. Or even your program is crashed, it will also run the function at first and then crash.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
So more test cases, please.
Yeah, look of it. Trying to add something to here.
Sorry for keeping emphasizing it.
That's okay. Let me see. For the authentication, I think it's enough. Like that's the other way I can imagine. and the CRT create. Just let me know if you have any like idea for this part. Test the file. I think we will have a look of the file format, but just in case, please follow the format.
So sorry about this CRT command. Can you give an example of invalid thread name?
Invalid thread name. Yeah, we mentioned that one word long, right? So how about put 2 words, like hello space word, CRT,
Oh, okay.
hello space word. We were able to detect the error of it.
Oh, that means invalid. I was thinking something like
Yeah.
for example, the invalid letter, same as the
the
username or
You can
something.
you can put that like some strange symbol or other stuff in the thread name. It should not work.
Yeah, I did.
I thought they said you could assume that they would put in the correct thread name, like they wouldn't put anything invalid in.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, you can consider this one like kind of corner case. Like
Yeah,
invalid.
I don't think they're going to put in any invalid thread names like with spaces or anything, because I'm assuming that's how you split the command up.
How about like CRT? And that's all. Like we just in the client side,
okay.
I only put CRT, but without any like additional information about the thread title. How about that?
All right.
Will
Test passed. Good.
Is it possible that a
Good.
file could be uploaded that has the same name as a thread, but it's not a thread? Like if there's a file in the directory of the server and you try to create a thread with the same title, or will it always have an extension, which means that it can't?
I don't think so,
cross
because
over?
in the upload file here, the format is in here, right? The thread title and dash the name of the file. So I think there's no way that you can upload the file equal to the thread name. Is it?
But if you made a new thread that's called thread title, but you can't have a hyphen in the. Okay, cool.
Okay.
That would have been a bad one.
Yeah, I would say what if we do upload and like this file without any extension here? There's a thread title dash test, then we create the same like thread name like this. I would say it's a corner case.
Don't think we are allowed to have a hyphen in the thread name.
Did we mention that we cannot use any symbol here? We didn't. Yeah, I didn't see there's requirement for it. Yeah, so you mentioned about a logic bug for the uploading. It could happen, but I don't think we will test it. So if you worry about it, just go to the forum and ask Sally. I can't handle this problem, because
yeah, like I don't think you could tell whether it's an uploaded file or a thread, right?
Yeah, the best idea is to just print the error. Like when you try to create this thread, you can say we already have this file existed. Something like that.
Okay.
So do you know if testing will simulate network delay? I am not sure if we will simulate the network delay. Yeah, and I'm not sure how will we test the simulating packet loss here. So please mention the packet loss part in your report in case we don't know how to test.
I was confused about that too. I don't know how to test it myself. Like how do I make sure that, like, they want you to implement some sort of import
random.
reliable transfer, or but how do I import, what was it, random?
Yeah, import random when you try to, and put it outside when you try to send the message. So you will have the possibility, like let's say 90% of the possibility will send the packet out, and 10% you will drop it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
but I'm not sure we will change your code, because it's kind of unstable if we change your code by ourselves. Probably we do it wrong by ourselves. Like let's say the marketing person do it in the wrong way by adding the random library into your code. So I don't think we will test it in this way. But you can test it by yourself, by using the random library, and have some output and showing that it's working in your report, and that will be excellent.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I just came up with one extreme situation, so for example, the edit command edt. So generally it should be edt thread name, the line needed to be edited, and the content, the updated content, right? So what if I leave the updated content to be blank? So say we got some situation like
EDT.
Yeah.
EDT
or
so
EDT, edit message.
Yeah, and you think that the message is a blank.
Yeah, so in this situation, is this command still valid, or I should give a feedback saying that, well, the message cannot be blank?
Let me check the specification. Message. Message. Yeah, it's mentioned here. I think it's a kind of corner case in this kind of scenario. So we can just simply consider if the message, the length of message is 0, we can say the message is invalid.
Okay, so it says something like the message cannot be blank.
Yes, just print out the proper reason. Or you can, if your program will not crash, you can also just store the blank message in here. Yeah, just make sure the program will not crash.
Generate v4.
Can only be able to send the command. Yeah, or you can just simply say that we cannot have the blank message. We don't have to specify.
I'll just say incorrect syntax for EDC.
Yeah. Yeah. Only France. BLT. LT. Yeah, just like for this kind of invalid thread name should work. Of course, what if we only run the DLT command itself? it should also print out the problem error message. Invalid message number. Should not be updated. Yeah, I think it should be enough for this file. For the EDT, not working on node. Upload and download. Upload. Yeah, for the upload and download, we will test in the different directory. Otherwise, how can we save it and download it? The client should send title to the server. Okay, so you can see for the upload command, when we try to upload the command from the client side to the server side, we will create a new file combining the thread name and the file name together. And once we just pull from the server to the client, we need to delete the thread name from the file and save as the file name. So that's how we test. Also, in this way, we don't need to in the different folder. Should be okay to do the testing. Test for the MV. Remove thread. Normal thread and exist. Normal thread not belong to you. That should be fine. Everything should be fine. And the XIT should no argument. Yeah. Yeah, I think that should be enough. I mean, the XIT one may need another one, like only one terminal, and then login, logout, and login. Yeah. Login, then run XIT. Login.
Sorry, is this step using the same client?
User. Sorry.
Yes. Is it step using the okay?
And yeah, I should say use one. I mean no. Login. like let's say login with user, and then run XIT, then logging another user, let's say Hans, should be fine. And in this scenario, logging with user, then run XIT, and logging the same user. User. Remove. Yeah, I think that's like pretty much everything here. Yeah, just probably you care more about the report. And what is the report? We have mentioned here the program design, performance brief description. Yeah. That's for brief description. It's not technical, but retransmission. Like mechanism of recovery. Like a loss. And 270. ADT 9331 Yeah, what's that? And for the multi-client, we run the auth and command. We. Yeah, and that's basically all the thing we have for the testing. So just make sure you follow the section A at first, try the output if it's the same, and come to the V lab and test again. Then I think I'm pretty sure you will get most of the mark. We will not be very picky and test the like extreme corner case in this assignment, and we will not consider about the security for the assignment. We only care your like programming ability or skills on the UDT. So don't worry too much. If you can pass through the test case in here, then I'm expecting you to get a full mark. Just follow the table here. And yeah, that's it. We still have one help session in Friday, just before the submission. Like it's from 10 a.m. to 12. 2 hours session.
So it's like if you attend the other session on Friday, you can submit late.
No, not necessarily, because we are having the session before the submission. So it's designed to help you, like for emergencies. Let's say you cannot do the submission. You do have some issue like on the submission. You can come to the this link as well, and let me know, and I can help you. But yeah, if you cannot finish before Friday, that's okay. But we will apply some late penalty. But it's still worth, like, still better than incomplete version of it, right? For example, you lose 1 mark for the late submission, but you get 2 mark by complete like 2 extra function. That's worth it. Okay, and that's the part. And I will also try to upload some like final exam stuff in the GitHub and try to help you to get a high mark in the final exam. But the final exam will not be very hard comparing to the midterm exam. So I think you can get around like 30 over 40. So I wish you have the good luck for your final exam. And if you still have time, just please open the My Experience and give Sally a favor, help him to finish the survey, please. Why are the midterm marks so low always? I see for most term average is 10 marks. Yeah, that's the traditional of it. But it doesn't really matter to like stop you to get a HD, right? Because the midterm exam is not worth that much. And usually you can get a full marks in the labs and full marks in the assignment because it's not very hard. The only issue is how many points can you get from the final exam?
sorry, question. So is this assignment being graded by our tutor or someone else?
Sorry, I was just distracted from the last message. Could you please say that again?
Yes, sure. So is the assignment graded by our lab tutors or someone else?
Could be our tutors, but not sure which tutors. I'm not sure for the marking details, but yeah, I would say could be Celio, me, or other tutors mark your assignment. So.
Okay, all right. Thanks for confirming that. The other thing I quickly want to double check. So I posted this question on the forum, and Tim on the forums confirmed that that there won't be a case of username and password being intertwined. So if it's the first username, then we have to put in the password, and then only we can put the second username. So that's what Tim said on the forums.
Yeah, that's great. So we don't worry too much about that. So if you find like you lose your mark for this reason, then you can argue. Just send the email to the course admin, like saying that I lose my mark, but you already say that we will not test it on the forum, right? So why I lose my mark? I can show you will 100% get your mark back.
Okay, all right. Thanks for confirming that.
That's fine. Could you please tell Sally to stop Yuda from opening his company? Sally will mark the assignment. Not sure, but maybe not. Can I get extra mark for printing phrase Yuda? Yeah, I hope so. You can put some sentence that is telling some good things about me, like Ray is pretty good, something like that. So I can give you extra marks if I'm marking your assignment. But I'm just kidding. Okay, thank you for coming. Please let me know if you have any doubt. And yeah, just please do Sally a favor, do the my experience stuff, and I will try to upload some like useful content in my GitHub to help you to do the final exam. Okay, so I hope you to have a good luck. Yeah, and if you still have problem or just want to have a chat, just come to the Friday session. Okay, thanks for coming. I'm closing the sharing right now. See you soon.